Hello everyone and welcome back to our biology class. Today we're going to talk about the classification of living things. Who among you here likes to classify things? When you go to the grocery stores, you can see that groceries are being classified. So it's the same thing with plants and animals, and bacteria, and all other living organisms or living things. They are also classified. So based on the highest classification, we have the domain. So it is classified into three areas. We have the domain bacteria. Number 2 is domain archaea. And number 3 is domain eukarya. I will be discussing more on this as we go along shortly. Then the next is kingdom. We have kingdom Eubacteria. Under domain bacteria, we have kingdom Eubacteria. Under domain archaea, we have kingdom archaea. And under domain eukarya, we have kingdom protista, kingdom plantae, kingdom fungi, and kingdom animalia. All right. Right. How do we classify things? Yes, I already discussed in the introduction phase. Yes, even in our supermarket aisles, you can see classification of groceries and products. Our libraries are classified according to the books. Genres. Our classes are classified too based on the subject areas. We have our teams or sports. Even our members, okay, our family members are also classified. Roads or cities, and even our money, currencies are being classified. So what is classification? All right, so I'd like to tell you that classification is when we put things into orderly groups based on the same characteristics. That's classification. And in here, taxonomy means the science of describing, naming, and classifying organisms. So in taxonomy, you're going to describe, name, and classify the organisms. So that is one way. So in early classification, if you have ever heard of Aristotle, he grouped everything into similar groups, such as for the animals and for the plants. All right, so if you have heard this word binomial nomenclature, it is developed by Carolus Linnaeus. He was a Swedish biologist in the 700s, and from the word bi means two, he named all the plants and animals, classified it into a two name system or binomial nomenclature. One is the genus and one is the species, which is either Latin or Greek. This is what we call the scientific name. How do we write scientific names then? Okay, right? Say for us people, our scientific name is Homo sapiens. So an organism's genus is always written in first, so that's Homo, and the organism's species is written next. Right, so the genus is always capitalized. Take note of that. It's always capitalized. And the species, which is the second word, is written in lowercase. But it's not the end. You have to take note of the rule that scientific names of organisms are always italicized or always underlined. So if you are writing it on a piece of paper, you're going to write the genus with a big letter word, the species with a small letter word first, but you're going to underline it. When you're going to type it, encode it in the computer, you're going to italize it. Okay? If you can see the word italize in formatting, that is your italicization. So in modern taxonomy, okay, there are evidences. Okay, evidence that we use to classify the taxon groups. One is embryology, study of the embryos, or the first stage of development. Chromosomes and the DNA. We have also biochemistry. We have physiology, which is the structure and functions of any living organisms. We have evolution and the behavior. Right, so as you can see here, I've talked a while ago about the different domains. So we have domain bacteria. What are examples of domain bacteria? You can see gram-positive bacteria, gram-negative bacteria, yes, purple bacteria. Okay, they have their shape as well. So their names of the bacteria is based on their shapes and sizes. We have gram-positive bacteria, we have purple bacteria, we have cyanobacteria, flavobacteria, and so on and so forth. Next is domain archaea, in which we have the methane producers, we have salt lovers, we have hot acid lovers. Next one is domain eukarya. We have kingdom plantae, right? So eukarya are those that have many celled organisms, like the plants, kingdom plantae, like those flowering plants, those pine trees, call it evergreens. We have the ferns, moss, simple plants, green algae, and so on. They're under kingdom plantae, right? Next is kingdom fungi, wherein you can see mushrooms, yeasts are under kingdom fungi, choanoflagellates are under kingdom fungi. Next, kingdom animalia, those that have, or animals, those are animals. Those have vertebrates or invertebrates or no backbones. They are still under kingdom animalia. Flagellates, we have sponges, right? Those are, and kingdom protista, these are amoeba, foraminera, those are shells, dinoflagellates, flagellates, diatoms, so they belong to kingdom protista. Right, so in modern system of classification, it has 8 levels. I want you to remember them. The first one is domain. Next, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. So it's 8. Right, so if you can remember the code, you can also remember Dear King Philip could order family, genus, species, right? So there is a code to this as well. So there are many ways you can remember. Domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species, right? So kingdom, for this species, Panthera species, it belongs to kingdom Animalia. Of course, it belongs to domain Eukarya. Those are the animals. Kingdom Animalia, phylum Chordata because it has the vertebral column or backbone. This panther. Class Mammalia, it is a mammal in which it feeds milk. The mom will feed milk to the live young. It gives birth to a live young. And all of those, we'll talk more of that later. In our next video, we have order Carnivora, family Felidae, genus Panthera, and the species is Panthera pardus. Panthera pardus. Right, so how do we use this classification system? It will help identify the organisms, yes, when we classify things, and they highlight differences between similar organisms like trees or other organisms. We have also dichotomous key. When I was in the university, I also did the thesis book about classification of organisms. I used dichotomous key for my thesis book entitled Floral Morphology of the Family Cyperaceae found in Bukidnon in the Philippines. I used that in my university years, and I used dichotomous key to identify all those Cyperaceae or the sieges that I found all over the university area. So taxonomous key, we have the paired statements that describe the physical characteristics of different organisms. So in taxonomic key, what we call di means two, there's the two key. Say for example, you can check this if you wanna check about the fruits. Say for example, first one, you're gonna check. There are two keys here. We call it dichotomous key. So first, you're gonna check fruits occurs singly. If the fruits is single, say for example, peach. Okay, who likes peach here? I like peaches. My daughter likes peaches and my son as well. So fruits that occur singly, you go to number 3, and fruits occur in clusters of 2 or more. So you go to 2. So in case of peaches, right? Peach occurs singly, correct? Yes, they're in single. So go to 3. Next, are they thick skin that separates easily from flesh, or then thin skin that adheres to flesh? So for peaches, when you look at the peach, does it have thick skin or thin skin? Of course, it has thin skin. So you go to 2 to 4. Next, peaches. Do they have more than one seed per fruit or one seed per fruit? Yeah, they have only one seed per fruit. You know that? Peaches. So you go to 5. And then skin covered with fuzz? Yes, peaches does covered with fuzz. Or skin is smooth without fuzz, so that those are plums. But in case of my example, that's the peach. So you use two keys, or we call it dichotomous key, to identify the organism. So what about when you identify an apple? What do? Right? That's your assignment. I want you to comment in the chat box below. How do you classify or identify an apple based on the dichotomous key? And you can add more information on that. Thank you, and I hope you've learned something today. Have a great day.